friends. Hope you're doing well. So today I want to talk about some highlights of 2023, specifically some of the best stuff, some of the great stuff I did, some of the great stuff I saw, I watched, I ate, I listened to. Yeah, just kind of some highlights from the year, and true to form, I took zero notes. I wrote nothing down. I just wrote down best of 2024 on this post-it note for ideas, along with the words hockey stuff and Warhammer. These are my current ideas of ASMR videos to make. So, let's get on with the show. So, best of 2024. So what were some good things in 2023? I'm already messing it up in the wrong way. So the best of 2023. What were some good things that came to you? That's the question of the day. I did question of the day for a while, and no one ever really responded to the question of the day. But leave a comment, because the comments are good. If you do nothing else for YouTubers you like, leave a comment on their videos, because that helps the algorithm, and it gives them people to talk to. It's nice, because then it's, you see the view count number go up, but you're like, is there any? Sometimes it's weird, just kind of going one way with it, especially, like, I think I've got like hold on, the other day was 666, so this would be 668. You make 668 videos, and over half of them probably have no comments, and then like a couple of them have like a weird amount of comments, which were like back when I was making like no talking videos where I'm not even in the video. It's like a video of a cat, and it's got like 10,000 comments, and you're like, great. But if I have a question of the day, no one cares, which is fair, because the cat was cute. Anyway. So, good things. I got started playing Warhammer, and that has become my obsession currently. Is Warhammer 40,000, so that's A+. Would recommend if you like strategy things and you're interested in weird, like, orc friends. I should just keep him there. Let's just glue it to the microphone, or he's gonna protect me. Anyway, that actually makes a fun noise. What if we rub his chainsword on it? That's oddly sharp. It's too sharp. It keeps getting caught in the little pockets on the windscreen. I don't know what this is called. Anyway, so yeah, Warhammer, that's been a big one. That was good. I'm trying to think of what were like some really good jobs I worked. I worked a couple like really fun, cool jobs. I shot a music festival. That was great. I did this art gallery here in Omaha has a performing concert series, and I got to photograph a lot of those shows, and that was great. It's really interesting because it's like performance art, and so like the shows are very out there, and so it's really hit or miss, where it's like either like the best thing you've ever seen, or something that's like exceedingly different and strange, or it's like something you're gonna hate completely, and there's like very little in between. Like, it's very polarizing, and I think that's why I love doing it, because you don't really know what you're gonna get into. You just kind of like, you just go and hoping for the best, hope this is gonna be one of the weird cool ones and not one of the weird boring ones. Because like the best one I ever saw was this guy named Crank Sturgeon, who is just so, I can't put it into words. He came out and he handed people like note cards, and he wanted everyone to write down their grievances. And so you would write down like something you were angry about, and then he just streamed it at an iPad, and the iPad was like using like a transcribing app, and so it was like trying to transcribe what he was screaming at it, but he was like screaming at it through like his homemade microphones that he had made at home, like contact microphones, and so it was like not doing a great job. And then he was like screaming at it more, and he just collected them from everybody in the room, and there was, I mean, probably like 40 or 50 people, and so he got a good number of them. And then after he did all that, he just hit play and let it read back what he had screamed at it, and it was just the most unhinged thing, and I loved every second of it. And I think the worst one I saw, the worst one for me anyway, was this is a couple, I think they were a couple, and they played a musical, I don't know, I might be using some of the words wrong here, but like, I think it was like a musical motif, or a musical, can't think of the good word, but like the theme of the music was like a monogamous relationship, and their takeaway was that it like monogamous relationships are boring. So they played, and I'm not exaggerating, they played the same 4 notes as quarter notes. So it's just like, you know, like a quarter note is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, like just like that. So just quarter notes, boom, 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 and they played the same 4 notes, like it's just like a cello, and I forget what the other person was playing, some string instrument. They played the same 4 notes for about 15 minutes, and then they changed it, and they played those 4 notes for 15 minutes, and then they changed it, and they played those 4 notes for 15 minutes, and they did that for about 90 minutes straight. And by the end of it, I wanted to just slam my head into the wall. And it's like, okay, well, that's like an interesting theme that they had going there, but also I'm in a monogamous relationship for 5 years, and me and my girlfriend do all kinds of weird shit. So, like, that's kind of on you for having a boring fucking relationship and subjecting us to your commentary on what you think a monogamous relationship is like. Like, that's like the worst kind of boomer humor, like my wife, like humor, but in musical form, and then as like terrorism. It was like musical terrorism, because I was trapped there. I couldn't leave. A lot of people left, which is always interesting to see, because like the shows are free, so people will come, and it's interesting to see sometimes how many people are left in the crowd versus how many people left, and you can always tell, like, for some of the really weird stuff, like the stuff that I love, like more than half the crowd will leave, and I was like, that's amazing. But then some of them that I'm like, that was the worst thing I ever saw. Like, there's people stay the whole time and they clap, and I'm like, are they clapping because it's over? But I mean, either way, I love shooting it. I would not, even if I don't like it, I still have a great time, because they're like really cool about just letting me kind of shoot stuff and have fun. And sometimes the worst thing for me as a fan of music, the worst thing for me as an audience member is the best thing for me as a photographer. I think sometimes it kind of motivates me to be like, take my mind off what I'm not enjoying and make it enjoyable. So there's that element to it. So it's kind of fun, but I love being able to do that. I gotta shoot some photos for some dancers. And that's always a blast. There's a local dance group here, and they do a lot of like environmental dances, kind of like they'll go to like an art gallery and they will make a performance based around the art that's in the gallery, and it's really cool. So I did a couple of those, and I always love shooting those. What else did I do that was super cool? Like music festivals, I mentioned those were fun. And what I love about shooting music festivals is that I don't shoot the bands. Like, when I get hired on to shoot these music festivals, it's to shoot like marketing promo, like lifestyle pictures of like people having fun. And I'm like, great, I get paid too much money probably to basically go people watching. And it's great fun, and I love doing it, and I hope to continue doing it. So there's that. What else? What else was like a super cool job that I did this year? I'm probably forgetting a bunch. I got to see Carhenge, which is interesting. We went out to Shadron to shoot a commercial, and Carhenge, which is something that's featured in every like Nebraska tourism ad for some reason. I don't know why. It's way the fuck out in the Panhandle that like it's not close to anything. Like it's not close to the interstate. So if you're driving through Nebraska, it's like an hour and a half out of the way, one way. Like the only reason you would go see it is if you were going to Shadron for some reason. Otherwise, like anything you're doing in Nebraska is probably in Omaha or Lincoln, which is on the east side, which is on the other side. You're talking like 6-7 hours to get up to the Carhenge. It's what's like a roadside tourism, thing. But if you're in Nebraska, you're probably in Omaha or Lincoln, which that's more than, I think it's like 75% of the population of Nebraska lives in Omaha and Lincoln, or the surrounding areas. And then there's like Grand Island, which is kind of not quite in the middle. It's like 2 hours from Omaha, give or take. And then there's Kearney, which is kind of by Grand Island. But those are still also 4 hours plus from the Panhandle. And so it's like if you're in the Panhandle, like you're probably going to Colorado or Wyoming or something, and like you're probably not taking the detour up there. I mean, maybe, but probably not. So I don't know why it's in all our tourism ads. And they never show like Omaha, like in those tourism ads. They're always just like, look, there's mediocre hiking and there's mediocre river rafting. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, why don't you show the College World Series that's in Omaha, or any of the stuff that's in Omaha or Lincoln, And I don't get it, because it's just like, and that's why Nebraska is like one of the lowest. It's like consistently ranked the least desirable place to travel to on like I forget who it was. It was Gallup poll or something, but it was like for like 10 years in a row, like Nebraska's number 50th state people would want to go to. And I'm like, that's fair, because our tourism team does a terrible job. The Visit Omaha people do a pretty good job, but the Nebraska tourism people, not so much. Anyway, this so total. What else was really cool? I watched a bunch of good movies. I didn't keep track of all the movies I watched, but I watched a couple movies that I thought were really awesome and weird and fun. I think I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once for the first time this last year, and that movie was amazing, and it got all the awards it got. It deserved all of them. And I watched a movie called Dicks, the musical, which has Nathan Lane and Megan Mullally, and like it's so strange. If you like musicals and you like how strange Everything Everywhere All at Once is, watch Dicks the musical. It's fantastic. It's real weird, and I was there for it. I want more of these like surrealist movies that are just like not what you expect. Like I want that. Like that's fun. Not every movie needs to be like that, but I want a couple more like that. That's kind of just like, this is fun. So that was great. Concerts. I didn't go to a lot of concerts that I wasn't paid to be at, but one that I went to was Baroness, which is like my favorite band. And they just destroyed. They're so good live. If you like harder rock, heavy metal, and stoner metal, stoner rock, definitely check out Baroness. They're so good, and if you get a chance to see them live, go see them live. They're so good live. It's unfair how good they are live. And I think one of my favorite parts is like, yeah, they're like a hard rock heavy metal band, but like they look like they're having the time of their life up there on the stage, and you're just like, this is great, and they're up there and they're shredding, and they're just something. There's also something like their albums are very good, but seeing the songs live, it's what something weird happens. Like I'll listen to the album, I'm like, this is pretty good, and then I'll see them perform the same songs live, and I'm like, this is not my favorite song. And I don't know what it is, but there's something that when then playing it live it's like a virus that you just get infected with, and you're just like, this, I love this now. This is the best thing ever. So Baroness, definitely up there. That's top. What else? We started going to this Thai food place. That's like across the street from our apartment, and it is super awesome. Pad Thai. I've always liked Pad Thai. I've liked Pad Thai for a long time. You never think about it. And so last year, one of the goals was like new experiences, trying new things. And so we're like trying a lot of the restaurants around us, because we lived here for like 2 or 3 years now, and like, well, we haven't gone to like a lot of these places. So we're just, check them out, because that's an easy thing to check off the box. And love Pad Thai. It was so good. I had it tonight, and it was A+. Is Pad Thai ever really? I don't think I've ever had bad Pad Thai. Like, I've had Pad Thai that was like too spicy for me because I'm a wuss. But even that was still pretty good, and I still ate the whole thing. I was like, snot coming out of my nose and crying, and I was like, this is so spicy. And they're like, we can fix that. And I'm like, this is good. It's fine. I just keep eating it. It's fine. Don't worry about me. I'm good. Oh man. Anyway, what else was super cool last year? I definitely had more food that was good. And now, of course, I didn't take any notes. I didn't write anything down. I had some good pizza. Where is the best pizza I had this year? That's a good question. I don't know if I really got any new pizza places, but we are going to a pizza place. There's a new pizza place here in Omaha. That looks super good. So does that help? I don't know. Are you ever gonna be in Omaha? If any of you are ever coming to Omaha, I can hit you. I give you so many recommendations. Anyway, yeah, I don't think I had any like new amazing pizza places. Pizza's another thing that's like always pretty good, but not the same way Pad Thai. I think I've never had bad Pad Thai, but I've definitely had bad pizza before. So, we went to like every coffee shop in Omaha this year, and there's some fun ones. There's one downtown called Cafe Postal. It's in an old like post office building, and the vibe is super cool, and like the coffee was good, and they had breakfast sandwiches that were. So definitely check that out if you're in Omaha. What else? I started a company with some friends, and we did our monthly meeting tonight, and we did $32,000 worth of business, which is for a year one company is amazing, because the first year I went out as a freelancer and I made $3,000. So we made 10 times that. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna celebrate by taking their wives, my girlfriend. She'll be my wife one of these days. We'll figure it out. I gotta figure that out. I gotta make some more money so I can buy her a ring and a house and pay off my credit cards. So if anybody has a bunch of money and wants to donate, there's a donate button in the chat. I'm not too proud to ask. I don't need it, but it would speed up some plans I've got going. So, but if you don't have money to donate, I don't blame you, because I don't have any money to donate to anybody else either. So leave a comment. Tell me what your best thing of 2023 for you was, so that way the algorithm will help this and it'll get to more people. And instead of making 10 cents for this video, I might make like 50 cents, because that's a big difference. What else? I don't know. I think that kind of covers it. Like, it was a weird year, 2023. Like, for my goals, I got like a D. I got like 63% completion, something like that. And for a lot of the year, I was in two modes where I was struggling financially for the first like half of the year. Like, I was making it, but like barely. And then the second half of the year, I was overworked and still somehow struggling financially, which kind of makes me think like, it's probably time to up your rates a little bit if you were overworked but still struggling, and when you're not overworked, you're struggling. So I think it's time to revisit my rates because it is, new year. So time for the rates maybe to go up a little bit. But other than that, I think it wasn't a bad year. It just wasn't a great year. It felt like a survival year. And this year, I'm trying to turn it into a thrival year. So, yeah, I hope you'll join me in manifesting that into our lives, and finding, making things work for us, doing things that serve us, and doing less of what doesn't serve us. And I think we'll be okay. I think this is gonna be the year that things start to pick back up, turn back around, and let's hope for the best. You know what I mean? So, anyway, that all said, I hope you're doing well, and if not, well, I hope that turns around for you real soon. And until next time, you keep on tingling in the real world. So dumb. I need a new sign off. Tingling in the real world, bro. I don't know, maybe it's ASMR Bully. It's like, do your goals, motherfucker. ASMR Bully's coming for you, bitch. Oh man, that reminds me of that weird. There's so many weird videos where the one that I was reminded, just Google it's this old movie, and it's like America. It's this woman, and she's like angry about something, and she's like stomping on this guy's flowers, and he's like, my marigolds, and she yells back like, they aren't marigolds, they're peonies. And there's a guy up there with the other guy, and he's like, my god, she's right, those are peonies or whatever. And the first guy goes, I may not know my flowers, but I know a bitch when I see one. And it's like, that lives rent-free in my head. Anyway, I may not know my tingles, but I know a bitch when I see one. I'm sorry, you're not a bitch. But if you set goals